Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, this is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. Hi, how are you doing? I just took a little moment, situation type of deal, to do a little LA beezing, and I didn't watch any YouTube or post anything on YouTube while I was away, and now I'm back to get caught up on all the drama. I don't know if there's really drama, especially when we're talking about Amberlynn. I think y'all know that very little is happening in Amberlynn world. And honestly, when she posted this, I knew this video was coming where she was going to be reacting to this video made by Young Dumb Honey Bun. I honestly didn't think it would be something that I would want to react to, comment on, etc. because I'm like, I just don't know. Like, I guess what I will say, disclaimer, I don't watch other Amberlynn Reid reaction channels. I don't even watch I used to watch some Chantal reaction channels in recent history, but even lately I've stopped doing that because I just can't keep up with Chantal specifically. I just don't want to know anything about what's happening in her life right now. So I just truly don't watch other people that make this content, and I don't know, maybe that makes me a bad person, maybe that is me setting a boundary, but I just don't do it. So I have not watched Young Dumb Honey Bun's reaction, and I also truly don't know that I'm interested in watching Amberlynn react to other reactions right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I knew I was gonna have a 3.5-hour flight or something like that, and so I downloaded this hour-long video to my laptop so I could watch it while I was on the plane without Wi-Fi. I knew I needed something to fill my time anyways, and y'all, I ended up having some thoughts. And honestly, when I watched it, I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna have just a few thoughts that I can put in a video before I do a reaction, because she also uploaded a video of her making salad or something, and I was like, I'll film a reaction to the salad thing, and then before that I'll give just a few general thoughts about the video of her addressing her lies and inconsistencies. And honestly, I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes that I think would be too much for me to combine all of that into one video. So if you feel like the salad video is worth me reacting to, I'll react to it. You can let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I might just skip it because I think today is the day she usually posts a new video, and maybe we'll react to that next. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play that part by ear. All of that to be said, I just do want to be clear, I have not watched the original video that Amberlynn reacted to in here, and I say that because when she did that thing where she reacted to my video, I do know for a fact, because I showed it when I reacted to her, reacting to me, reacting to her. I showed in the video how she edited it to make me look like I was saying something that I wasn't. I don't feel like that happened in this video. It seems like she actually did very little editing, even though she said that she was gonna have to do a lot of editing. I mean, she could have edited out all those times where she rewound and went back and struggled with hitting the right buttons. I'm sure that video could have been 15 minutes shorter if she would have just edited out all of that shit, but she didn't. So I don't know that happened, but feel free to let me know if I missed something where she did edit the video to make it look like Young Dumb Honey Bun said something that she didn't say. And also, for what it's worth, I do know and I am aware that Amberlynn doesn't like her for some reason. I don't necessarily know if I understand all of the history behind that. I think that they did DM or something once upon a time. I don't know. I guess I would say all of that, take that all with a grain of salt, because Amberlynn has also said that she really didn't like me in the past. And even in recent history, the past week or two, she answered little questions on that website where she answers questions, where she said that I was a harmless reaction channel, even though in the past she said that I participated in bullying her. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's apt to also share that right now in this moment, since this is a video about her inconsistencies and lies. Just take all of those things into account. So I'm not doing an actual reaction. I'm just gonna give you some commentary. And I think one thing I want to say about this is that this video is difficult because I think Amberlynn does bring up some fair points. You're gonna see that I have a lot of critical thoughts about most of the video, but I do think she brings up some fair points that people are overly critical and particular about things that don't matter, okay? Or things that are insignificant in the grand scheme of all the stuff that Amberlynn has ever done, said, lied about, whoever, whatever. So for example, I think the bringing up of the sign language semantics of like, in one video she said she knew the alphabet, and then in a post on the question website thingy, she said that she wanted to be fluent in it. I knew where that was going a mile away. I knew she was gonna be like, well yeah, I only knew the letters, I'm not fluent in sign language. And I would agree that is not that big of a deal. So there were some things like that that I'm like, okay, is this the most important thing to cover? I don't know, maybe not. And I know for me personally, I've been enjoying the more silly, stupid, mundane things that she does on her channel. And as a result, whenever I get worked up about something silly and small and mundane on her channel, people think that I'm being overly critical and that I'm being nitpicky. And so I get that feedback. I understand that feedback. But also, I think for us as viewers, one thing we have to keep in mind is that you can be like frustrated by her Amazon haul and also put into context that it's not the same as her like lying about her health or lying about stuff in her relationship with her various ex-girlfriends, right? Like, I think we should all be able to like cognizantly differentiate between the extremes of those things. And to that extent, I've given this advice before, and it's something that I've tried to learn as a YouTuber as well, but like you do have to figure out what specific things are worth addressing because they really will help clear the air for your audience, and what things can you just like let go and maybe not spend 15 minutes in a video talking about, you know? And so I think that she just needs to keep working on that. I don't know. It's hard to say that I feel like she's gotten better at that. And to that point, she talks a lot about like growth and changing as a person over time versus like, you know, people bring up these old things about her all the time. I've been accused of bringing up old things about her to talk about her in videos, but I really try to only do it if it's relevant to something that she's still doing, because I agree with her that people do grow and change, but there's so many things that we've seen from her that exhibit no growth, no change. She has truly not changed a lot as a person over the, for me, like 5-6 years I've been watching her, but she's been on YouTube for longer than that. And all of that to say is I think she misses the point about people bringing up these inconsistencies that are small and maybe trivial in her mind, because even though they are small and trivial, I think it contributes to like this larger thing of like, we never know what is true, what is real, when is she being honest, when is she lying, and she doesn't get that every little one of these things adds to that feeling of the audience feeling gaslit, which we'll talk more about later in this video. A lot of the things were about her health, and then a lot of things were also about her relationship with Becky, and then there were a few random things that I want to talk about outside of that. So the first thing I want to talk about is all of the stuff about her health.
It says, I don't just say I'm bipolar to say it. I was diagnosed at a young age. Also, depression, anxiety disorder, and OCD. And then the clip you just saw was from 2 years ago. So it's very contradictory. When I was younger, I did see so many therapists, counselors. It's because I had to. Having appointments and seeing those kinds of people are very important. And during that time, I was told that I show signs of being bipolar. So I think at a young age, because I think I was like 15 or 16, when I was told, you know, you show signs of bipolar, you probably are. I took that, ran with it. And from that point on, I was like, oh, diagnosed with bipolar. I'm wrong for that because I was not diagnosed with bipolar. They said that I could have bipolar, that I showed signs of being bipolar. That doesn't mean that I am bipolar.
One of the things that they spent a lot of time talking about was her diagnosis of bipolar. And I think one way I've changed is how I've thought about people getting diagnosed and talking about themselves. I think in a world where all Americans got free healthcare or had better access to healthcare, I would be like, yeah, you should go get you should go get evaluated and diagnosed and figure out what all the resources you can get to help you with your mental health challenges and symptoms. I do think her original language and that tweet from 2013, which by the way was before I ever even knew who Amberlynn was, okay, just for the record. In 2013, I was starting grad school, did not have time to sit around and watch Amberlynn read videos back then. I do think it was confusing and maybe a poor choice on her part to say she was diagnosed when really her therapist was just saying that she showed symptoms of it. But I think the thing about this is that regardless of if she was or wasn't diagnosed at that time, I think it's fair to say that most people in this community can accept the fact that there are some levels of mental health challenges that Amberlynn faces, regardless of if you've seen her diagnosis on a paper in front of you or not. Like, I think it's easy to see that she's not somebody who is without mental health challenges. So yeah, was it contradictory? Did she say that she was diagnosed and then in a new video say that she had never been diagnosed before and just got diagnosed, whoever, whatever? Yeah, I agree. Inconsistent, confusing, but also 2013 Amberlynn was not as big on YouTube, probably didn't have the resources to actually go get tested, evaluated, whoever, whatever. That shit is expensive with or without insurance, so just keep that in mind. And I think the things that are more frustrating is that in more recent history, when it comes to things like that, she will make the claims that she has some of these things, but has never been tested or diagnosed for it. So like the sleep apnea thing that she also references in this video, she talks about how she really needs to go get a sleep test done, and it's like, well, why haven't you done that? Like, you as a person with lots of wealth and means to these things, like, why haven't you gone and done that? I think that that is the thing that actually is frustrating to people. But I could understand 2013 Amberlynn saying, like, hey, my old therapist from when I was a teenager said I showed signs of these things. I got it. I got it, you know? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But in general, I get why the inconsistencies with her health and weight are so frustrating to people. And there was this moment where she's talking about the weight loss surgery doctor, whoever, and whether or not he did or didn't suggest weight loss surgery. And then this other moment about whether or not doctors had ever brought up weight to her and whether or not it was a problem for her. And she really seemed to be relying for these parts in particular on the concept of like memory loss and just not remembering that she made those videos or that those things happened.
From my remembrance, from my memory, which is so bad, I have so many holes in my memory, it honestly terrifies me. That is a whole other subject that I talked to my psychologist about, and she says I show signs of PTSD. Showing signs of PTSD from childhood does not mean I have PTSD. She said that that is something she wants to talk about in the future.
And honestly, I don't really feel like that's helping her case. I'm not saying that it's not possible that she forgot things, but it just seems like super convenient for those things that she just simply can't remember them happening, even though the videos are in front of her. And I think it's difficult because memory loss does happen to people all the time. Like, I forget things I did 2 days ago. Like, I believe that that's possible, that you forgot about those things. Or, as she was saying, like, maybe it's related to some sort of trauma. But I think the difficult part comes in, like, how do you dispute that? Like, there's nothing I could really say about Amberlynn not remembering. I can't prove that she did or didn't. She can't prove that she did or didn't. It's like you have to take her word. And I think in a situation like this where she's trying to rebuild trust, regain trust with her audience, it's like, I don't know that I can trust you, so how am I supposed to take your word that you just forgot that those things happened? But also in general, I've had difficulty covering topics regarding her health in the past year or two because so much of it at this point is like, if she's lying, she's the one that's getting hurt by that the most. And or at all. Like, she's the one that's being negatively impacted by her lying. she's the one that's going to have to deal with the consequences of, like, her taking or not taking her health seriously. And while it might be frustrating as a viewer to watch, like, watching this content is free on our end. Like, for all intents and purposes, Amberlynn doesn't really charge us for viewing her content. I know for a while she was doing the live stream memberships and things like that, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot that we have to choose to pay for. I mean, even with the live streams, you didn't have to pay and you could still watch the live streams. For us, it's not taking anything from us except our time. And, you know, at any point, we can decide that we're no longer giving our time to Amberlynn. If we really feel some type of way about her lying about her health, we don't have to watch. So, you know, I think that that's my struggle when it comes to her health, is like, I don't have anything else to say that's going to change anything about the way that Amberlynn talks about her health on her channel. And she clearly hasn't changed when it comes to talking about her health on her channel. I mean, I'm sure there's way more recent examples than what was in this video she reacted to that demonstrate that she's still being inconsistent about it. Another thing that I want to address is the stuff that happened regarding her relationship with Becky. Now, I'm literally so tired of talking about these damn rings. At least this is not about the size of the rings. This part wasn't about that, and it was really about whether or not Becky did or did not pay for the rings.
I need to be honest, because this is what this video is about. I lied here. I wanted to protect Becky. Becky and I agreed that we would say that she bought the engagement rings. A lot of people were saying, oh, Becky used Amberlynn's money to propose, I didn't want people to think that. I also selfishly, I will say that selfishly, didn't want people to think that I bought my own ring. I'm sorry. Like, lying's lying. That's like a point blank period on that regard. I just feel like some lies are to protect yourself or to protect the people around you. We were protecting ourselves from judgment, and it's wrong.
And regardless of the fact that Amberlynn does end up owning up, and I think that this is the most self-aware part of this whole video, I do just have to question, y'all really thought Becky paid with her own money for some engagement rings to Amberlynn? We all know she wasn't working. We all know that everything she had was because of the money Amberlynn made on YouTube. We all know that post breaking up with Amberlynn, she had to start working, scrounge up some money, start a YouTube channel of her own so that she didn't have to rely on Amberlynn. So why on God's green earth did anybody really truly think that Becky bought those rings with her own money? I think sometimes we as viewers also need to question, like, our nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't change the fact that she did in fact lie about it. And I guess I just want to emphasize here that she talks a lot about how she lied specifically in this situation because she wanted to protect how we viewed Becky, how we viewed her, how we viewed their relationship. And I think it's going to matter later when we talk about gaslighting that she talks about how she lied specifically to change what the viewers think about her. I think if she could apply that same self-awareness, she might realize that that's kind of what all of her lies are for. I would think that part of even the health stuff is that she exaggerates things. I mean, she talked multiple times through this video about exaggerating things even with her health, because she wanted them to sound a certain kind of way. If she could just really think about that and apply that to everything, I think she would be in a place where she could actually grow and change. Now, I don't think she will, but I think she could if she thought more about how in this situation where she can see that she was intentionally lying to change our views, that she could apply that and learn from that in other situations. There's also a significant amount of Young Dumb Honey Buns video that focused on how Amberlynn treated Becky post-relationship and if that was justified. I don't really know what Young Dumb Honey Buns part of the video was supposed to point out about the way Amberlynn treated Becky. I think we all agree that it wasn't great. Amberlynn saying at one point that she agreed that she never really felt like she loved Becky or it felt like a roommate situation, to going forward and saying like, no, I really did love Becky and now I'm frustrated about it. Like, I don't know if people realize that when you go through a breakup, there's probably a lot of different emotions that you experience and feel. And I think at any given point she could have felt like all of those things. And I actually, I'm not justifying Amberlynn being rude or mean to Becky, but I think it's totally reasonable that at one point in terms of like processing her grief and losing this relationship, she could be in denial about the way she felt about Becky and say one thing one day and then weeks later be like, no, I really did love Becky and I'm hurt by this. I mean, literally the stages of grief include denial and acceptance, right? So, I think it's totally reasonable that at the beginning of it, Amberlynn was like, no, this is totally fine and chill. And then by the end of it being like, no, Becky really hurt me. This is really hurtful and I am now actually realizing how this is impacting me in my life. Again, doesn't justify the way that she's treated Becky or any of that. That's not what I'm saying. But I think it's reasonable that her feelings about the breakup would change. I don't have a lot more to add about the Apathetic Faxx situation or the Amazon situation outside of things that I've already said about those topics in previous videos. But the one thing that's so frustrating to me about both of those things in this video is that she claims she didn't know how things worked.
It's not like that at all. I truly didn't realize that I had to do that, and that's my fault. That is 100% my fault. I should have done more information on it. I'm not going to make excuses. It's my fault for not being responsible enough to understand what the heck an Amazon affiliate is. This goes back to my dumb self. I did not know this. I did not know that channels get taken down with a certain amount of strikes. I did not know that. That is my fault. I wanted to strike because I thought per copyright strike, it's just the video will be taken down. And the reason why I thought that is because I have been copyrighted in the past, unfortunately. I just deleted the video. I literally thought that's just what happens.
Now, I've seen a lot of people who are Amazon affiliates. I've even been asked to be an Amazon affiliate in the past, and I didn't do it because I was like, I don't have anything to suggest that you buy from Amazon from me. And it's very clear. It's just very clear that they say that to some extent. You don't actually necessarily have to say it in your videos, I don't think. And that's my personal opinion. But everybody I watch that is an Amazon affiliate, all you have to do is put a simple disclaimer by the link in your videos, in your description box. And so I don't understand why she gets into these things and doesn't do the research on what she needs to do. I mean, I do and I don't. This is classic Amberlynn with literally anything she's ever tried. She's just very excited about doing something new, does no research, and then she's picking up the pieces as they fall after the fact. But also, her not knowing how the copyright strike system works on YouTube after all of these years of doing this as your full-time job, I just don't fucking get it. I just don't fucking get it. So that's all I really have to say about that. I just those two things in particular, I just really feel highlight how little effort she puts into even the most basic things. Even the most basic things. things that she should be aware of as a person on this platform. I do just want to touch a little bit on the piece that was about Chantal, because I've made several videos, as you probably know if you're not new to my channel, about all of the fucked up shit Chantal has done over her time on YouTube, which is not just limited to this recent Cuba McRage stream bees situation where she was xenophobic, racist, ableist, etc. Okay? It's not just limited to that. She has a slew of situations like that. And I think even honestly, truly, I mean, again, I haven't been keeping up with her, but I would be inclined to believe that she has done shit since then. I, as somebody who has been asked to hold other people on the internet accountable because they were perceived to be my friend, I don't know that I necessarily believe that you have to go hold every single person accountable in the world on YouTube just because they're on YouTube and they make similar content to you. But the difference between her asking me to hold other people in this reaction community accountable, because she did do that, I made a whole video about it. The difference between her asking me to do that and people asking her to hold Chantal accountable is, for all intents and purposes, I haven't been shouting out anybody. I haven't been saying I loved other content creators on this channel. I haven't been shouting out their channels, linking their videos. Amberlynn consistently talks about how much she loves watching Chantal, how much she enjoys Chantal's content. She is in Chantal's streams, in the chat talking. So I do think it's reasonable that people press her about whether or not she should be out here defending Chantal's nonsense. And the most frustrating part is this clip where Amberlynn talks about not wanting to believe that's who Chantal is.
My only answer is I don't want to believe that that's who she is. I want to believe that she is a good person, that she's an amazing person. And that's honest. That's just me being honest.
Well, believe it, bestie. Believe it. Because one, I am a true believer that, like, drunk words are sober thoughts. But two, this is not even the first example! This is not even the first time she's done it! Miss Ma'am! So, miss me with her trying to make Chantal sound like, you know, this is a one-time, whoever, whatever situation type of deal, because it wasn't. It just wasn't. But the last thing I really want to talk about is this conversation that she had about gaslighting people and people feeling like she was gaslighting them.
I actually am not going to sit here and say I've never gaslighted you guys, because that's not okay to say. If you guys have felt gaslit, then I have gaslit, because I'm not going to take away the way you feel or the way you say or see things. I wanted to make this video to have all these answers and reasons to make you guys understand me, and I don't. Besides, I just get overwhelmed and I say and do things that are irrational, and I don't mean to ever manipulate you guys or gaslight you guys. So right now I'm just going to apologize. I don't ever want that to be a thing anymore. I wish it would have never even happened in the past. So I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, truly, because I know how it feels to be gaslit. It's not okay. It makes you feel kind of crazy. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
And I just have to ask, what do you mean if you feel like you were gaslit? First of all, if you are wording it like that, like if you feel like that, then I'm sorry, then you are not really actually owning up to what you did to make people feel that way. So there's that. Like you're just saying, well, if you feel that way, you know what I'm saying? I think that that's one thing about apologies that I've really learned, because I used to say stuff like that. Well, if I hurt your feelings or if I offended you. No, the people just told you that you gaslit them, that you did make them feel some type of way. So, like, take ownership of that. But second of all, the if you feel like you either did or didn't. You either did or didn't gaslight people, okay? You either did or didn't. So I don't understand where your uncertainty is here. Did you? Did you? I'm inclined to believe that your whole channel is full of examples of you gaslighting people. I've made full videos about you gaslighting people. Like, you are gaslighting people constantly on your channel all the time. And in fact, I feel like the wording of this response is gaslighting, because it's like supposed to make me question, well, did I experience that? Was that a thing I experienced? That's gaslighting. But outside of that, you full on already, at a minimum in this video, admitted to lying about the engagement rings, which means that at the time you were gaslighting us. You wanted us to feel silly for thinking that Becky wouldn't buy you engagement rings. So yeah, you did gaslight us. And that's outside of the fact that you have admitted to trolling us in the past, you know? Like, you full on admitted to exaggerating things in this video because you wanted things to look a certain type of way. You've created all of these inconsistencies on your channel that have led to us not being able to discern what the truth is versus what's a lie, what's trolling, what's whoever, whatever. To the point that at this point, your audience really does believe that most of the things you do on your channel is trolling. Most of the things that you do on your channel, people believe to not be real. People think that you're just doing stuff for clicks and views and whoever, whatever. So you want to talk about, you know, regaining trust with people. Part of that is you acknowledging that you've done those things. And, you know, there was a part where you were talking about not being able to understand what was going on with some clips that were shown in her video.
I think I'm understanding it more. What happened with the doctor's diet competition? I said, what are you talking about? Because it was never supposed to be a competition. So I guess that's what I was confused about. And then here, didn't your doctor invite you to one? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know where these are from. I guess somewhere where I'm just answering questions. And then I said, no, she didn't invite me to a support group. I guess I was talking about support groups on this website. So then someone replied and said, did your doctor invite you to one? I'm trying to just like paint the picture better for you guys because I'm confused. So I don't want you guys to be confused. Oh, wait. Down here it says, why don't you join a support group for weight loss? Oh, okay. So I must have answered that. And then someone said that, which in my response was, she didn't invite me to a support group. Because I took the idea of a support group as a bunch of her patients or a bunch of individuals that she sees coming together in like a meeting format. Like we sit around and we talk about stuff like that. So that's what I took that as. I didn't really consider at the time me coming to weigh myself and having some of the people at the office weigh themselves. I did not at the time consider that a support group, but now that I hear more about it and I'm more rational, it does make more sense that it is kind of like a support group. So hopefully that makes sense.
Telling me, I want you to be part of the weight loss journey and competition within my office meant...
Oh, shit. I said competition, but she didn't say competition. I feel like maybe sometimes in the past, I exaggerated things to make them seem more better in a way. I honestly don't know.
And honestly, bestie, you're so confused by all of these things because you have made it so hard to know what is true and what is real. So when you're being shown your own shit that you don't remember, you're trying to make sense out of nonsense. And I have been saying it in video after video after video lately. You can't make sense out of nonsense. You can't. You can't. And so that's why you're struggling, bestie. And that's because you've gaslit us all for at least the entirety of when I've been watching your channel on YouTube. So you gotta call it what it is, bestie. If you want to move forward, you want to make change, you want to grow, you're gonna have to do some of that. I don't really think I have much more to say outside of that. I'm sure I missed a few things that were covered in the video, but like I advised her, I'm trying to like cut down on what is relevant, what is important, what makes the most sense for us to care about, and I think I hit on the things that I felt like were most important to take from it. Also, just want to say thank you if you did watch this whole video, because I know she posted this almost half a week ago at this point, but I just wanted to get some things off my chest, and I also wanted to enjoy my vacation, so some things had to wait. Some things had to wait. But let me know if you want to watch her make a salad, because I can react to that. Let me know what your thoughts were on this little live reaction video that she did down below. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notifications. And make sure to like and share the post. And follow me on all my social media. Oh my god, so many requests from you today, Zachary. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. I hope you had a good time today. Have a great day. Bye.